It's the Wait a Minute Show.
Bruh. Ain't that right, Lil Pan? Wait a minute. Book it. Really? Really?
The Wait a Minute Show with your host, Jolani J.B. Bodie.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your man, Jelani J.B. Bodie, and I'm back here on a Saturday once again to finish the week, giving you your sports fix here on the waitaminuteshow.com, but also here in the ATL, here in the Lions Den studios, and here with my co-host that I'm contractually obligated to say this, so I'm going to go ahead and get it out the way early. Ladies and gentlemen, here with me to do the show is Lopan.
Indeed.
So thank you, Lopan, for joining us. And he's a little perturbed today.
Indeed.
Don't worry about him. He'll be okay. Just like a lot of other teams that's out here, namely the Arizona Cardinals. Yep, I brought it up. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about NBA. And I got a Big L award to give out at the end of the show.
Indeed.
And it's Saturday, so you already know we're going to continue our division talk. I got another guest on here to talk about the NFC North. So yeah, we're going to get into the NFC North, and you do not want to miss that. So hang out with your boy. Before I go any further, man, this is the last weekend here for your man Jelani J.B. Bodie of summer vacation. Yes, the little one is going back to school. I'm not going to say it's long overdue or anything like that, but back to school, back, with with her homies and all that good stuff. I think it's good, and back to learning and, new level, new stages off in life. But I'm going to announce right now, it's going to be coming out tomorrow, Sunday. So you want to make sure you check it out, man. Being the Bodies, Ayla Bodie, AYLABODDIE. Man, check out her YouTube channel because she got a back to school video that will be published tomorrow. It's going to be broadcasting tomorrow, so you do not want to miss that. So check that out when you get a chance. Or actually, check it out when it's released. It's going to be tomorrow. But now I got to get that out the way because I don't want to get in trouble with the little one as well, because Lopan be on her side all the time.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna go there. Now let's go ahead and start talking about some stuff that you guys like to talk about, and that I like to talk about, and that is sports, right? Sports. And the first thing we're gonna get into is that guy right behind me, Kyler Murray, right? And the Arizona Cardinals. So news came out this week, ladies and gentlemen, that the Arizona Cardinals decided when it was reported that they had a study clause in Kyler's new deal, which was like $230 million. It was a lot of money. Let's just get that. But that's not what everybody was paying attention to. This study clause where there was 4 hours, count them, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 hours that Kyler Murray was going to have to do some independent study. And if not, something could happen, right? So word got out. Wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look at all for the Arizona Cardinals. And there's a few reasons why, okay? Let's just go with, one of the first things, the obvious. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just gave somebody $230 million, do you really need to be telling them to study? Do you really need to be telling them that you have a requirement? I think that's something that you should have discussed a long time ago, within the first 4 years, 3 or 4 years that Kyler Murray's been on the team, right? So if you had that issue, or you're alluding to maybe that's an issue, why would you even, do the deal, right? Now, of course, probably part of that they had to do the deal. But if you got a guy that you think you got some concerns with that, why put that in there? And it's just a head scratcher too, because I don't think it's ever been. Now, there's reports about, how the Cardinals and Kyler Murray might have seen, different difference of opinions and everything. But I can't recall someone coming out or some type of report coming out talking about his study habits and him, not studying, because that's what you're alluding to, is that you're alluding to that he could possibly not study. Because if this is Tom Brady, if this is Peyton Manning, if this is who else I'm trying to think of, a lot of other quarterbacks, you don't even bring this up because it's going to be disrespectful. And Kyler Murray's pointed out that it was disrespectful, and I totally agree with him. Because if he hasn't given you anything to warrant that, why would that be in there? Here's what I think. I'm just going to give you my honest opinion on it. Is that, yes, they want Kyler Murray there. I think they want Kyler Murray there to a certain degree, right? This is a team who had went, before Kyler got there, they spent the 10th overall pick in Josh Rosen, and they moved on from him next year later when Kyler came out. Now, that's not the same situation, but what I'm saying is that the organization has shown they will move on from you. So I really think this was, maybe they're not seeing eye to eye. The team really wanted to give themselves an out or a clause or something that they could, relate to. Because here's my thing about the 4 hours, right? How is it documented? That's one. 2, to what level is the 4 hours? Who's watching it, or who's keeping count of if he's doing the 4 hours? And then if you want to use this clause, is it just an open clause that you can use? Is it just something to just say, you know what, we don't believe, because the way the season has went, the way you look out on the field, you're not doing that well. That gives them an out. And it could not even be anything with the studying. We've seen plenty of guys, RG3, for example, out there, playing injured. Shouldn't have been out there anyway, but still made the matters worse. We've seen other guys go out there and play football injured. And then it makes the matter worse. And then down the road, you find out that they were injured. So what if something happens like that? Can you use it then, and just say, you know what, really doesn't look like this guy's studying when it's something else. So it wasn't a good look, for the Cardinals anyway. Now, a lot of, people have also been bringing out about, the way Kyler looks. And if this was, Matthew Stafford, if this was Matt Ryan, even Pat Mahomes have talked about this, about black quarterbacks, having to prove themselves. You have that angle. Now, I'm not saying that that was the Cardinals, thing of what they're trying to do, but when you put something out there like that, you leave it open for speculations like that. You leave it open for someone to bring that up. And the guy has been a Pro Bowler. If I remember correctly, you've been to the playoffs with him. Are you saying he doesn't seem disinterested? Like, I really want to know, what was the whole point? Have you put this clause in other quarterbacks or other positions on the team before? Is there something, if there's some substance to it, to why you did it? Because it's just, for me, it's just a head scratcher, especially at the quarterback position, that you're going to require or put a clause in that you want your guy, your face of the franchise that you just paid. I'm going to give you this money, but I need to make sure you're studying. The two just don't add up. So it was a bad look. And as fast as they rescinded it and canceled it, it just confirmed on their part. And they didn't go into depth, and they never will. They're not going to, really talk about it because they want it to go away. But it was a bad move by whoever, decided to put that in there. And I'm also a little confused too. and I don't know the answer to this. So this is just a question that I have, is that did Kyler and his representation accept this clause, or was it something we'll accept it on this, but we're going to bring it up? I don't know if I would have accepted. Like, oh, why are you putting this clause on me? No, we're not doing the clause. I'm not signing a deal unless we do the clause. So I don't know if it played out like that. That's just a question. So if someone got the answer for that, definitely let your boy know. But not a good look. Not a good look. People jumping into the Wait a Minute Show chat room. We're broadcasting on YouTube right now. So if you're catching this live, make sure you go down there, put something in the comment section. Even if you're catching it on the playback, put it in the comment section as well. I see all of that stuff. So Mocha Bella has jumped in. She basically saying the good evening to your boy. But yeah, Kyler Murray, man, that's just weird. That's just weird. I really haven't seen any track history that would warrant or would say you need to put a study clause into somebody's contract. Now Lopan, that's a totally different deal right there. Indeed. Yeah, because that dude don't like to study at all. He just like to try and get cliff notes or go online and all that stuff. But Kyler Murray, nah. Yeah. But obviously, they changed it quite fast. So let's move on from there. And you listen to the Wait a Minute Show. You're watching the Wait a Minute Show with your man Jelani JB Bodie here on YouTube, but also on the waitaminuteshow.com. If you haven't already, man, just make sure you're following us on there, and Twitter and Facebook. So I saw this earlier this week, and it was something I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to talk about it because it's what's hot in the streets right now. Training camp is, just getting off and everything. So sometimes, you go a little bit, off the pavement or not. But this is something that people have been talking about for the past, actually a couple weeks. So I wanted to bring out, and it was like 11 or 12 teams. So I'm not going through the 11, 12 teams. I'm going to give you my top 5. And what I'm talking about are alternate helmets. This year, we have seen a lot of alternate helmets being released. Some of them are throwbacks, and all that stuff where, there's like, hey, this week we're going to be playing such and such team and we're going to be wearing alternate helmets and everything. And so, that's gotten people excited. You've seen promo videos, and everything for the different helmets and everything. So it got me thinking, and I was like, yo, let me go and see what's my top 5. What's my unbiased top 5. I think me and Lopan could do that, right, Lopan? Indeed. Yeah. So I'm actually going to show you 7, right? So it's really 5, but the 2 that I'm going to show you first, I call these the classic edition. You can't put them, you can't rate them, because they're just the hotness, all right? They don't deserve to be in any category, any ranking or anything, because it's hot. And this is me with the unbiased. So let's go through, and I'll give you my 2 classics. So the first classic is the New York Giants, and I'm talking about the football Giants. And if Chief Rocker Jersey Vern was here, he'd probably be saying, yeah, you right, son. You right, son. These things are hot, son. And he's absolutely right, man. This is a classic helmet here. I remember as a kid watching Phil Simms, one of my favorite running backs, Joe Morris, Mark Bavaro, Lawrence Taylor, all those guys that was on that Giants team, and these helmets. So they were iconic. They were classic, and it's simple with the blue and the red stripe, but the Giants written across it. So, this one here, they're going to be bringing them back, and they're going to be wearing them again. So it's a throwback, not necessarily an alternate, but I'm not going to put this in any category because it's too hot and it's too classic. So the Giants is that hotness. So I'm not even going to rank it because it's in a category, of its own. The other team, and some people are going to be, mad at me, that's in the, category of their own, I'm sorry, is the New England Patriots. This is me being unbiased, ladies and gentlemen. The white helmets with the red, white, and blue stripes, and the old school Patriot with the football. And then how they, combine it with the red jersey. Man, that right there, even though T Brizzle, I love T Brizzle, but I couldn't stand the Patriots. It was like, dang, they win in division and they looking good in these, and just the hotness of the helmet. Like, it's a classic. So that's why I'm not throwing it in here. So you got two classics, man. You got the Giants and you got the New England Patriots here with the old school. And the reason that's a classic is because just like they've done previously before, Giants and the Patriots, they have brought these back and people went crazy over them. So you can bring this back at any point in time. There's never a bad time to bring these helmets back. And nobody's going to be like, oh, don't do that. Yes, these helmets are hot. So they're on their own category. So now let's get into my top 5, right? My top 5 alternate helmets that's going to be popping for this 2022 season. Let's start with the Chicago Bears. Yeah, so they went with the all orange joint to go with the orange. And I think, even if they went with the black jersey, it still wouldn't be bad. But it's a nice color, nice, simple, just like the regular Chicago. So it's just basically they just inverted it, if you will, because the C normally would be the primary color of the helmet, and then it would be an orange on it. So I do like it. I put it at 5. I think they didn't, try and reinvent the wheel with this, and they just said, you know what, less is more. Keep it simple. Don't do too much, because if you do, maybe you get clowned, down the road by somebody like Lopan. Indeed. Yeah, right. Man, Lopan, be quiet. Ain't nobody care what you think about. So let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is the Carolina Panthers, right? So they normally would have the silver and blue and black helmet. So they went with a primary black helmet, which a lot of teams have. So that's why, there's a bunch of teams on here that you're not going to see, because a lot of teams like the Jets and everything, they went all black with their logo on it. The Cardinals did the same thing. They're nice, but with the Carolina blue, I think that's what makes it pop, because you got that bright blue jersey, but then you go with, kind of the matted, and the way the Panther is detailed in the blue. And it's on the, kind of the back part of the helmet as well. To me, I just like that. And then also, if you haven't noticed on the back of the helmet, it got Panthers. You can see it a little bit there. It's not completely on there, but I just think also a nice, basic, but nasty look, And if you, in this picture, I think this is Brian Burns, but if you got the dark face shield, if they let you wear it, it's a nice look. So number 4, I got the Carolina Panthers on here. So let's go to number 3. Who could number 3 be? Number 3, right? Man, Houston Texans. So this is a team where this was primarily blue, but they went, I think they call it Red Alert or something like that. But it's a all red helmet. And the fact that in the Panthers, the logo was big, but you see on the Texans, the logo is even bigger. It really pops out. It's a polished red look on it to go with the blue jerseys that they're wearing. They actually may, rock the red jerseys in this, but the bright, vibrant red that they have here going on, and then accented with a blue jersey, and you got the big, Texas, I'll call it a Longhorn, but, the state of Texas, we know cattle or whatever you want to call it. But the logo itself really pops, and it's really just the red. The gloss of the red really shows out for this helmet. Now, the next one, people are, they're going to be mad at me at number 2, but I'm sorry. This is an unbiased. This is not me hating on anybody. It's just really just looking at this thing and just saying, I got to give credit where credit's due. And that is the New Orleans Saints, man. The New Orleans Saints, what I like about it is that they did go black. So they're primarily gold, and then their logo normally is black. So they inverted that. The black and gold has always been, a nice combination, color combination anyway. but I think going in the middle and putting in the baby Saints logos or the itty bitty Saints logo, so it's your stripe. You make it out to be your stripe. That's a little bit different. That's a little bit, more creative, on it than just going with the solid stripe that you see with a lot of teams. So the itty bitty Saints logos that you see on there, and it's just the little small details that make it. And they went black as well, but they went with a gloss black. Some teams went with a matte black. Some teams, Washington went with a gloss black as well. But this gloss black with the gold, and then added in with the little baby Saints logo. That's a nice combination. And they got the white jersey. I think they should go all black, if you ask me, but that's just my opinion on it. I'll still root against them and boo against them when they play the Falcons. So Falcon fans, don't worry your little heads about that. I'm just grading on how it looks. I'm not talking about the team and the rivalry. I'm sorry. Now we are at number 1. So let's recap really quick. My classics was the Giants and the Patriots, right? Number 5 was Chicago. 4 was Carolina. 3 was Houston. And we just talked about the New Orleans Saints being number 2. So the number 1, man, I don't care if you don't have this as number 1, man, something's wrong. Because I've seen way too many people that's Cowboy fans, that's Lions fans, that's all kinds of fans that have given love to this helmet. And ladies and gentlemen, it's the Cincinnati Bengals. This thing, when I saw this thing come out, I was like, oh my goodness, this thing gonna be hard. And I saw it already with the, this might have been out already, before. I don't remember. I really don't. I'm thinking I would have remembered something like this, but I am getting up there in age, so I could have forgotten. Indeed. Be quiet, Lopan. So this right here, man, with the white jerseys, ooh, and then you got the accent and orange in it. So you got the white Bengal. The white Bengal? Oh, my God. I mean, it goes back to the days of Big Meech having a white Bengal in a cage for his birthday. Okay, I'm going too far, but I'm just saying, like, this is unique. This is a difference maker. This is something that's just like you get this and you put it up in your house or whatever, especially if you're a Bengals fan. It's not going to be in my house, but this in itself is just that hotness, man. So the Cincinnati Bengals, the white and black, the predominantly white with the black stripes. So you got the white Bengal look, man. That's going to be clean. So when they wear those, man, that should be a primetime game anyway, just because they just went to the Super Bowl. But this is definitely going to be a primetime game. They better not have them wearing these on some game where they're not nationally broadcasted that week. So, boy, those are my top 5 alternate helmets that's popping, for this season. Now, is anybody else coming out with some? Maybe. I think at this point it should have been out, but if some come out after it, maybe we can go back and revisit it. But those are my top 5 for right now. Hopefully you liked it. Put it in the comment section. If you got a top 5 or if you just got your top 1, what's your top 1? Put it in the comment section. Let your boy know which are the alternate helmets that you feel in, which are the alternate helmets that you love. And then also if it's one that just stinks to you, you can put that in as well. So I got a guess for y'all. I told you we're talking about all the divisions in the NFL. So we're going to talk about the NFC North. But before that, we're going to take a break. And then when we get back, I got my man Vince Wright that's going to join us. And he's going to talk about the NFC North and give his viewpoints and a lot more. Stick around with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after these words. Do you want your next Atlanta event to be memorable? If so, have Drink in Color at your next function. Drink in Color is sophisticated bartending that creates signature cocktails for your special occasion. Wow your family, friends, and business associates next time with Drink in Color.
You can contact the owner, Kiki Lewis, at 678-813-7102. That's 678-813-7102. You can also email her at drinkandcolor@gmail.com and follow on Instagram at drinkandcolor. And tell her you were referred by the Wait a Minute Show. Drink and Color, cocktail catering. Let the cocktail sparkle at your next event.
Do you like making an impression? Who doesn't? Well, when you want to dress to impress for less, check out Rail Scott at Prime Ties to Go on Facebook and Instagram. Quality accessories for men and women at low, counted low prices. Everything from ties, bow ties, watches, bracelet, earrings to pocketbooks. Don't miss out. Check out Rail Scott, the owner, at Prime Ties to Go. That's Prime Ties, the number 2, Go, on Facebook and Instagram.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and you are listening to
It's the Wait a Minute Show.
on the waitaminuteshow.com, man, here on the YouTube channel as well, man. Watch your boy. Wednesday night, X Squad Radio Network. Check that out as well. You won't see my face, but you'll hear my voice. So make sure xsquadradio.com, man. I'm on there Wednesdays at 9 p.m. So we continue to talk about sports. So you get a little bit of the octave, the acapella JB Bodie, and then you get the visual JB Bodie. So complete your entire week. So what I want to complete also is this division talk. And we've already talked about the AFC West. We talked about the NFC West as well. So like I said, I got Vince Wright coming on here. I talked with him. He dropped some jewels, gave some knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, check out my man, Vince Wright, as we talk about the NFC North. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a special guest here with me. Not here in the ATL, but he is all the way up north, next to Lake Minnetonka and Mall of America and all that good stuff. I have here with me none other than the governor, as I call him. Ladies and gentlemen, Vince Wright is in the building with me. Thank you for coming on, sir. How you doing today, Vince?
Hey, what's up, Jelani? It has been a minute, my man. Always good to talk with you. And even though you a Lions fan, you good people, man. So thank you for having me back.
And Vince is a Vikes fan, so we have learned to coexist, with each other, and plus our teams, haven't really did anything too much, so we can't.
That's the truth about the matter. So absolutely.
Right. So we are talking about the NFC North. So yeah, that's why I got on my Lions gear. I know you're going to be talking about your Vikings. And before we talk about our teams, we're going to talk about some of our nemesis that's in this division as well. So we're going to start with Chicago. Yeah, Chicago, the Bears, Monsters of the Midway. So they are going into their second year with Justin Fields. And there's been a coaching change. Look like there's been some other changes around with the Chicago Bears. And there's been a lot of expectations on Justin Fields. And some of that is, he's gotten a little bit of a pass as well because of some of the stuff that, he had to deal with that was out of his control. So going into this year, now this is supposed to be, everything's supposed to be set up for, Justin Fields to develop. Going into a second year, Vince, what do you expect or what do you see coming from Justin Fields this second year in Chicago?
I think you'll see improvement from him as a player individually. I think it is up to Chicago to, give him what he needs. And that's an offensive line that's going to protect him, a coaching staff that's truly going to believe in him. And if you believe what, it's coming out of the Chi-Town, that's what they're saying. So they got to give him protection, because that's what he needs. He can make some things happen if the passing breaks down. But, man, Chicago has just been just kind of a mess in terms of the front office and how that team has been run under Nagy and everything. So now with him gone, they're saying the right things, Jelani, but we'll see what happens, man. It's Chicago. So, They got stadium issues. They maybe wind up playing out in the suburbs. So all kinds of stuff going on with that franchise right now beyond the quarterback and the offensive situation.
Yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned that is with the stadium situation, and just recently they were talking about putting a dome over the top of Soldier Field. Now, of course, they're thinking about going out to somewhere else to buy some real estate. But if that doesn't happen, just because you brought it up, me myself, I just it would just feel so weird to see a dome on top of Soldier Field. I get why they're doing it, but is it one of those things for you too? Like it just don't seem right.
It, Let me say this. I agree with you. It doesn't seem right, but a few years ago, I went to Soldiers Field for a U2 concert there. And basically, what it looks like right now, Jelani, is a spaceship landed right in the middle of Soldier Field. It's just kind of a weird design. I don't know, man. It just looks real odd. So, in terms of kind of reconfiguring that for some, for the roof that they want to put on and, the indoor stuff that they can have, I think anything's on the table to keep them where they are right now. Down on Lake Michigan by the museums, Lakeshore Drive, and all that. But don't get it twisted. I mean, money always talks, and they're looking, I think, right now towards Arlington, where the old racetrack used to be. So land's available, parking is available. When they can charge, for parking and keep that money themselves, that is absolutely huge. So the mayor put out a proposal, some sketches early on of what a domed or roof would look like on that stadium, but stay tuned, man. It's again, it's Chicago, and anything is possible down there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Anything is possible. Lopan is out there trying to get a bid in. No, we're not doing that today, Lopan. Yeah, we're not doing that, Lopan. He ain't got no money, so I don't even know why he over there trying to put in a bid. But let's move on. We're talking NFC North here, and we're going to touch base on my team, and I'll let you go first, and then I'll give you, my feedback, on the Lions. But right now, things look a little bit different in the Motor City. Things look, possibly promising. But I think the biggest question with the Detroit Lions is the culture. And I've been on your show and I've talked about that culture that you need to have in the franchise. So with Dan Campbell and some of the other additions for draft picks, and maybe it looks like they believe in Jared Goff, do you think maybe that culture is changing just in the city of Motown for my Lions fan to be proud of something a little bit?
You know what, man? When it comes to Detroit, I just start falling asleep.
Oh no, don't do that.
Whoa! I'm sorry. Let me wake up. Detroit football. It's the Lions, Jelani. I mean, it's Detroit always going to find a way to be Detroit. Every year we look for the things, and this is going to change, or they got a player here that's going to help them. But every year, man, Detroit just finds a way to be Detroit. And until they do it on the field, we can talk about new coaching staffs, which we have before. We can talk about new players, a new quarterback that came in, and it's just Detroit Lions football, my friend. And it pains the sports governor to say that, Jelani, because you're my brother, you're my peoples and all, and I know that's your squad, man, but Detroit just gives you really no reason to think that they're going to be nothing other than the Lions this year. Beyond that, sure, maybe some things can change. We'll see. But for this upcoming year, man, I got nothing for Detroit. And, if you listen to my show, for some reason, the Vikings always have issues when they play Detroit. So,
yeah,
people kind of point that out to me and talk a little crap back to me, man. But Detroit just finds a way to blow games. And just when they kind of get to the humps and can get a win or two, they just take that 2 steps backwards. So, Detroit fans, I hope I'm wrong unless they're playing the Vikings. But nah, man, just nothing gets me excited for Detroit Lions football.
Look at my face.
I told you it pains me, Jelani. You my people, man. You know you family, man. But
It pains
I'm
me.
sorry. I'm sorry.
But
sorry.
I do understand. I understand where you're coming from, and there's a history. Now, here's where
Yes.
I'm gonna disagree with you.
Right?
Now,
Okay, go ahead.
some of this could be me being delusional. Not as delusional as New York Knicks fans and Cowboy fans. Not that type of delusion.
That we agree on. Absolutely.
Yeah, not that type of delusion. But I'm looking at a few things. I fell in love with the draft picks. I think Williams, this kid Williams, is next year because he's coming off an injury. I like the Aiden Hutchinson because I've been saying you know me. I've been saying it for years. You got to be able to get to the quarterback in this division, and it hasn't changed.
And not to interrupt you, my friend, but obviously it is set up for Hutchinson. I mean, obviously where he went to school, everything. So hopefully that really aids him in his development because the Detroit defense needs a pass rusher. So does my Vikings. We'll talk about that in a minute. But man, Detroit really, I can't remember the last time Detroit's had somebody coming off the edge, striking fear, and into a quarterback. So
probably been like Sue, and a lot of that is just because they figure he might hit him after the play. I don't know. So, but
his reputation preceded him. But yeah, probably since Sue to be fair about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think with this edition, and I wasn't one of those big, woohoo, we got Dan Campbell, folks, but he has grown on me. He still got some little stuff that I'm just like, what is he talking about? I still do think, it still comes down to the organization, and that culture. But I think they have pieces in place to try and fix that. And I'll say this.
I'm sorry. I keep
go ahead.
interrupting the whole of the show. I was just going to ask you, though, when you talk about the culture, do you think the Ford family needs to get out of the Detroit Lions business?
It pains me, but yes. Because they're in. I do believe that they're in it for the right reason.
I do too.
I do believe they're in it for the right reason. I do believe that they do want to win and they do want to bring something to the city of Detroit. And when you look around, Pistons won, the Tigers won, the Red Wings have won. Michigan State. If we go to the college ranks and everything, so they want to be a part of that group. I just think as far as like the selection process, and it this ties in what you were talking about. Prime example. I'm not gonna cry, but when we had Jim Caldwell, that was a culture change. That was, and you could see it, and you could see them, transition into a different route. And the other thing is, it's gonna come to, and I've said this many a time, it's gonna come to making a hell of a draft because Detroit doesn't get free agents like other cities do. So you're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way where you get your folks and you make right on these draft picks, and they haven't been able to do that, with some of the executives that they came in with. Not even going to talk about what happened with the guy with the beard and the pencil. Not even going to touch base on that. But I do like, as far as like what Dan Campbell was instilling in it, this team believes. I'm scared of Hard Knocks. That's the thing, because it's like teams that go on Hard Knocks, it seems like crazy stuff happens. But I do like the direction that they're going in. So I do think that, I think they'll be better than what they were last year. I'm not saying, we're going to the Super Bowl, no crazy stuff like that. But I do think they'll be better. I do think they'll be better.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, so we move off my team and to a team we both discussed. Is the Green Bay Packers. It hurts me just to say it. But Devontae Adams is gone, right? They traded him, and everybody's like, what in the world? And here we go again. Everybody talk about how, they don't get Aaron Rodgers no help, and they trade this guy away. Who's going to get the last laugh in Green Bay? Is it going to be the Packers proving everybody wrong, or we'll be right back where we started, where we're talking about, see, they didn't get Aaron no help, and look what happened.
Man, you have just hit on the greatest question of all, probably for this division for the upcoming year. It is so hard to say, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you because I haven't been really keeping a true tabs on Green Bay during the off season. So yeah, that's the question. I mean, if they can, if they got a couple receivers in their ranks that we just don't know about that are about to have some breakout years, if they get somebody to come in and sign for free agency, which is still possible, I don't know. But that's the greatest question of all because, yeah, I mean, Green Bay, are they going to prove everybody wrong? But hey, look how we did it. We showed you. We told you guys. Or just like you said, is it another year yet again where we're talking about this team did not get their Hall of Fame quarterback help? Stay tuned. That's really all you need to know about Green Bay. I'm sure their defense will probably be okay. They seem to, the Packer defense seems to kind of rise up to the occasion here and there, but yeah, man, if nobody can catch the ball from the Hall of Fame quarterback, it can finally be a very long year up there in Wisconsin. So stay tuned.
And this is the scariest part to me about the Green Bay Packers is that they possibly could be right on this one. And here's why I say that. Look, Devontae Adams, no one, like, he's a once in a lifetime talent that comes around. You don't get guys that come into the league, like that. So it looks like, that was just, it had to happen, whatever. They had their disagreement, whatever it may be, but he's gone. But for them to do that, and because we know in this league, they will put up with a lot of stuff, or they will go through a bunch of stuff. And I'm not saying Devontae was a problem at all, but I'm just saying as far as like, if they don't see eye to eye, as far as like a talent, they will, work with that. And for Devontae Adams to leave, the scary part for me, I got a name for you. Okay. Because they drafted the kid. I forgot his name. I want to call him Christian Woods out of I might say that might be wrong, out of North Dakota, but not him. There's someone that was already on this team. And to me, when I heard Devontae was traded, I just immediately thought they are sold on what's my man? Oh, I don't forgot his name. Lazard. Alan Lazard. Yeah.
And well, you just hit it, man. So if he can have that breakout season, then we all look stupid, right? Green Bay's laughing to another probable NFC championship game, so on and so forth. But, sometimes, the luck catches up with you in a bad way as well. Obviously us as a Vikings fan and Lions fan are hoping that that's the case. But, that's really all it hinges on. If Aaron has some targets that he has, can throw to, or, all of a sudden he's developing some young talent, watch out. And by the way, Jelani, they're still picked to, finish first in the division.
Yeah, because Aaron masked a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
Hate
the dude, but, I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. And he goes around, runs around. Hey, get it. Yeah, and he just kills you. But that's how good he is. I gotta give him credit where credit's due. So now we are at where you want to be. We are at your Minnesota Vikings.
Yes.
The purple people eaters, Minnesota Vikings. Prince, all that good stuff that comes with Minnesota, right?
Yes.
Same roster, pretty much the same roster.
Pretty much.
New coach. Will we see a two-parter? One, will we see a different result? And tell me how you feel about your coach, Kevin O'Connell, this new guy coming from the Rams.
Well, let's start with the second first. How do we feel about this new coach? Hey, man, he's done all the right things for the most part. He's obviously, it comes from an offensive coordinator's mentality, which is what people have kind of been begging for up here in Minnesota, with Zimmer being a defensive coordinator and a defensive kind of mastermind, and maybe not really putting a lot of effort into the offensive side of the ball. So now we've got the flip coin of that. You have a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator coming in, making his coaching debut. And the thing is, up here, Jelani, the folks feel good because now they feel like, hey, in terms of Kirk Cousins, listen, you're finally getting a guy that's going to turn it over to you, believe in you as an offensive guy. He's looking for you to, make big plays and everything else. And, you always are for your quarterback, but you're really going to have now the head coach behind you, whereas it's kind of come out now that Zimmer was not a Kirk Cousins guy for, a plethora of reasons. We can get into that at another time. But yeah, so everybody likes the new coach and all that. The vibe is good. Now, what happens on the field, because basically same roster, does this team underachieve again? That's the question. If Thielen can stay healthy, that helps them because, Thielen is very good when he's out there on the field with Jefferson. It's all right there for the taking. And, if they can come up, they're working on some new defensive schemes. So hopefully they'll be able to show some new looks on the defensive side of the ball. And, the perennial, hey, if everybody can stay healthy for the most part, I think the Vikings, and I know everybody's going to say, Gov, you're a homer and all that, but I think the Vikings find a way to finally get back on top of the division. And, let's say maybe they come out ahead of Green Bay, maybe by a game or two to take the NFC North. Not saying they're on their way to a Super Bowl or anything by any means, but, if you're a Vikings fan, Jelani, you're looking for this team to finally show up, and even with a new coach and even with new schemes, to get some wins and to finally turn yourself into a 12-13 win team. Do I see that in all honesty? No, but I think they can maybe get 11 or 12, find a way to eke out the division.
The division, I like that. And yeah, because it's something to be said. We've seen what Sean McVay did for, just Jared Goff, but then also when Matthew Stafford came in there, it was, look, let me take what he does, and sometimes it's just putting people in the right position. So like you're saying, that offensive mindset, when they need something, it may not necessarily be like, oh my gosh, Kirk Cousins, what are you doing? But it's like, okay, this is what Kirk does well. Let me create this, versus
game manager. We saw it with the Ravens with Dilfer. We've seen it so many times. You don't need the all-world quarterback to get to the championship or to win a championship. So yeah, let's explore what he does well. Let's give him the offensive line he needs, because Jelani, what I always say on my show, Sports Done Right, is we need literally the best offensive line in football to give him that time, because if he has time, that's when Kirk Cousins can pick you apart.
Right.
But he's not your dual threat guy where he can make things happen with his legs and all that. So that's where interceptions come from, some bad passes, 3 and outs, things like that. Or you wind up in very long, 3rd and 20s, things of that nature.
Right.
So, that, and then also we have not only a new coaching staff, we have a new general manager up here. And so our new front office is new, or the front office is new as well. So we will see. It's going to be very interesting, but, we still got talent on both sides of the ball. And I think we can do it, man. We just got to get off to a good start. I know our first game is against Green Bay. You can obviously send a message with that. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but beyond that, man, if the Vikings get off to a good start, watch out.
Right. So I'll get you out of here on this, and I got my man Vince Wright, the governor of Minnesota here, and barring the Super Bowl, because I know that's exactly what you want. But if that doesn't happen, for Vince Wright, what would a positive season, or what, just like, what, we didn't win the Super Bowl, but I can, deal with this. What's one thing that you would want from your Minnesota Vikings for you to say, you know what, we didn't win it, but we're headed in the right direction?
I think, to be fair to the new regime and organization, I would say for 12 wins and a playoff win. Now, we haven't had a playoff win here in a long time either, but for me personally, 12 wins and a couple playoff wins, because I still think we have some very deep talent on this team, to really make some noise. I think the culture has changed. There's that word again, culture.
Culture.
The Imperial regime went out with Zimmer, that Darth Vader feel. So now everybody's happy with the new coach and everything. So that's no longer an excuse for
right.
The players. So you gotta have to do it on the field. And like I said, if they can protect Kurt, give him some time, the offense will look good. There's a couple question marks on defense in terms of linebackers in particular, a couple D-backs. But outside of that, yeah, man, Vikings can make some noise. And I'm excited to get this season started.
Well, Vince, I appreciate you for coming on. Like you said, you got your own show. So, sir, I will give you the platform right now. Lopan, stay there. I'll give you the platform to go ahead, let these folks know about your show and also where they can find it.
First off, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on, Jelani. Like I said, it's been too long, so we'll get you on Sports Done Right soon. But you can find me, the Sports Done Right podcast. We are on all the major podcasting platforms, iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff. Just put in Sports Done Right, WRIGHT, my last name. Follow me on Twitter at The Big Smooth One. That's the number one after The Big Smooth, at The Big Smooth One. And, same for Instagram too. We have a Facebook group. Just put in Sports Done Right, and you'll find us there. And other than that, man, just keep listening and keep supporting good podcasts like our host, Jelani. And, keep doing big things, Jelani. You and Lopan, man. Good to be back in the mix.
Hey, I appreciate you, sir.
Yes,
I'm gonna get up there. I'm gonna maybe, I try. I'm from Michigan, so I try and stay away from the cold weather. So it'll have to be like a warm weather. But I'm gonna come up there and
and we're due for a trip back to the ATL too. We made those first couple of Doug Stewart parties down there, but haven't been back since. So, yeah, we got to get down there as well, man. Yeah. So I can't wait.
And then I was going to say I'll take up for you against, Angie, but no, I won't. No, I don't want those problems. So
I hear you, man. Yeah. I hear you. Happy wife, happy life, bro.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So appreciate you again, Vince, man. Appreciate you for coming on. We'll have you back later on, and we'll keep talking about sports, NFL, NBA, all that good stuff. Vince covers all of it. So I appreciate you once again, sir.
All right. Thank you, my man.
So that was my guy, Vince Wright, man, talking about the NFC North. And next week, we'll have another division. We're going to be covering all divisions. So if you didn't catch last week's show, we covered the NFC West and the AFC West. So you can go back. I had a bunch of people on for that one. And then we'll keep having people on in the future for all the other divisions while we got this training camp thing going on. So let's go ahead and take another break. When we come back from the break, Jerry Jones making comments once again. So we'll talk about Cowboy stuff. And I got a Big L award that I'm going to be giving out. Somebody's getting the Big Loser award. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back after some more words.
It's the Wait a Minute show.
Do you want your next Atlanta event to be memorable? If so, have Drink and Color at your next function. Drink and Color is sophisticated bartending that creates signature cocktails for your special occasion. Wow your family, friends, and business associates next time with Drink and Color. You can contact the owner, Kiki Lewis, at 678-813-7102. That's 678-813-7102. You can also email her at drinkandcolor@gmail.com and follow on Instagram at drinkandcolor. cocktail sparkle at your next event.
Do you like making an impression? Who doesn't? Well, when you want to dress to impress for less, check out Rail Scott at Prime Ties to Go on Facebook and Instagram. Quality accessories for men and women at low, counted low prices. Everything from ties, bow ties, watches, bracelet, earrings to pocketbooks. Don't miss out. Check out Rail Scott, the owner, at Prime Ties to Go. That's Prime Ties, the number 2, Go, on Facebook and Instagram.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and I don't know if I said this after the first break, but you are watching.
It's the Wait a Minute Show.
Yeah, we getting it in here on a Saturday. So before I start talking about Jerry Jones, people been talking in the Wait a Minute Show chat room. I got my man Jay Evans in here, and he says Kirk Cousins eats his sushi with a spoon. How disrespectful, Lopan. Indeed. Exactly. Like, what did Kirk Cousins do to you that you talk about he's using a spoon, Jay? But it is what it is. Shouts out to my man Ben from BS3 Sports. That's also in the Wait a Minute Show chat room as well. Mocha Bella, she says, do we have to talk about them Cowboys? Yeah, a little bit, Mocha. We got to be fair. So, but yeah, we're going to touch base on them real quick. So Jerry Jones is talking in the media once again. And, every time when Jerry says something, people, repeat it. So we're going to talk about it here. Now, he brings up about Zeke Elliott, saying Zeke Elliott needs to be the focal point, and Tony Pollard will have his time or room, or because everybody's been talking about, like, Tony Pollard is on his way. And Zeke is just a matter of time, right? And so everybody, look, I think everybody's taking it as Jerry is really just saying, I love Zeke. We got to make sure we still feed him and get him the ball and all this. What I think he's really saying is that he wants Zeke to still be a focal point, because he doesn't want this to turn into just a one-man team. Because then if you take Zeke out, you take a phase of their offense out. Tony Pollard, everybody knows he's fast. He can come out of the backfield, catches the ball and all that. But he doesn't pack that power and that punch. I'm not saying that he's just a small guy or nothing like that. Don't get me twisted on that. But he doesn't pack that punch that Zeke does. I think the biggest thing, though, is just don't forget Zeke, because I believe that this is really more about, this is going to be more a pass-first team, or they're going to pass more, I should say, and not rely heavily on the run game. You sent Amari Cooper to Cleveland. You basically said, we're going to get down with CeeDee Lamb and Gallup and Schultz, and we're going to be good, with that. Run game is still going to be important, but I think he's just like, let's not forget Zeke. Make sure he still is a focal point. And I think people took as the focal point as saying he needs to be the guy and only the guy. You need that part for this, for everything. We've seen the things that have happened with the Cowboys time in and time out. So yes, you do need Zeke, because I don't think if you start just putting Tony Pollard and he's being the only, only source of running in the backfield, that's not going to be a recipe for success. So yes, Jerry did say it. I don't think he meant it that way, but we're going to run with it anyway, like all the media does as well. So let's move on from that. I want to talk a little basketball real quick to answer a question. And I saw this, they were talking about Steph Curry. Steph Curry was speaking with someone at an Oakland A's game. That's right. He threw out the first pitch there. And he was talking about, how he wants to stay in Golden State. He doesn't want to go to another team. He want to end his career. He's always going to love, Golden State, all that stuff, right? All the players say that, right? Is there any possibility, any remote possibility that Steph ends his career in another city, in another uniform, playing for another organization. I agree with you for once, Lopan. Yes, there is a possibility. Because if Michael Jordan can't end his career with the Chicago Bulls, no one can. No one can. We've seen other guys that have had great careers. We've seen Patrick Ewing in his career in other places. We've seen Hakeem Olajuwon in his career. Rarely does a player of that magnitude get to finish where they started. I mean, Gary Payton, and I'm not saying Gary Payton is on the same level as Steph Curry, but you get what I'm saying. There's a lot of top guys because so much stuff happens. Either the team start rebuilding, and if they can get pieces for you because they know you only got a few more years, they'll go ahead and make a business decision, on it. So anything is possible. So I'm not going to sit here and just think that because of what Steph is doing now, that Golden State will just always just say, look, we'll never trade him, right? And then here goes the biggest hater in the southeastern hemisphere, Jay Evans. He says, we all know he ain't going to Detroit. Hey, Allen Iverson ended up in Detroit. How about that? Now, Tracy McGrady ended up in Detroit. How about that? Just saying. You never know. But we won't get that cooking, or that's James Harden, but cooking stuff, where he be putting folks to sleep, Steph. Hey, if you want to come to Detroit, finish up his career, man, put up a few more threes, on it. But what we're going to put up now, we're going to put up a Big L award, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time where we hand out the Big Loser Award because sometimes in life you just do loserous things. So, let's go ahead and get ready.
And you are one pathetic loser.
Let's go.
We're gonna see the best collection of losers this park's seen for many a year.
La loser.
Le who? The her.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the Big L Award, the Big Loser Award, going out to someone who just does something. Now, look, last week, I think, this past week, whatever it was, I got a big L, so it's unbiased. I got a big L for falling asleep on a movie that I wanted to watch. So, it's my fault. I'm sorry. But we're not talking about me no more. So at the beginning of the show, you heard me talking about Kyler Murray and the new contract he got, and they were talking about this whole clause thing, study clause that he had. And then the Cardinals came back and said, you know what, let's go ahead, take that out of there, out of the contract and all that stuff. Because Kyler, you've always been the guy that studied for us, and all that good stuff. Well, yeah, now because it got out and people looked at it and somebody said, what? This ain't gonna ride. You ain't finna roll out here and then just do my mans like that. That's what somebody said. They said, hold on, Carl. I'm gonna take care of that. Let me get on the phone. How on earth do you think that putting that in his contract, it wouldn't get out was one, two, how you were gonna spend that, and three, who sold you on it? Who in the organization said, let's do this? Or did someone just say, look, there's Tito. And when everybody turned, there's a study clause and put it in there. Go ahead, sign it, Kyler. Good to go. Because I'm just saying, it happened so fast, but it wouldn't have lasted long. It actually, disappeared faster than what I thought. So I don't know what the Arizona Cardinals was thinking on that, but to put something like that in there and thinking that it was not going to be broadcasted or people weren't going to be talking about it, I just don't know where you think you got that or how you thought you were going to pass off that little piece of the contract. So for the Arizona Cardinals sliding in a study clause that we knew wasn't going to work, you got to take this big L. Indeed as well, Lopan. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. No way impossible. That was just gonna. Ain't even get to the weekend. Can't make this stuff up, man. Can't make this stuff up. So, man, hopefully y'all had a good time. I know I had a good time, man. And we'll do this all again next week. Come back. Like I said, thanks to my man Vince Wright for coming on, talking about the NFC North. We already covered the NFC West and the AFC West. We're going to cover every single division before the regular season kicks off. So come back. We'll be talking about your team and a lot more here on the Wait a Minute Show. Make sure you like and subscribe and turn on your notifications if you haven't already on the YouTube channel, man. And again, my little princess, Ayla Bodie, got her own YouTube channel, Being the Bodies, man. Make sure you follow on that as well. She'll be posting a new video coming out tomorrow where she goes back to school shopping. Will I survive? You got to check it out. So, Mocha Bella, appreciate you. Jay Evans, I appreciate you. Ben from PS3 Sports, appreciate you, man. Everybody stay humble. Be good to yourself. Be good to everyone else. And everything will come back on you twofold. So, for your man, Jelani JB Bodie, host of this thing called The Wait a Minute Show. Two things as always. Stay positive and push forward. And I'll holler at you later. Lopan, let's go.